James Harper had always been the kind of man who blended into the background, like a shadow in a brightly lit room. At 34, he worked as a data analyst in a mid-sized insurance firm in downtown Miami. Florida job that suited his socially awkward nature perfectly. Surrounded by spreadsheets and algorithms, he could avoid the messy unpredictability of human interaction. He was insecure, self-conscious about his slight stutter when nervous, his thinning hair that he combed over obsessively, and the way his clothes always seemed a size too big, hanging loosely on his slender frame. Colleagues described him as quiet or reliable, but never friend. James knew what they really meant: invisible. The trouble began on a humid Friday evening in late summer, at the company's annual team-building gathering. It was held at a trendy rooftop bar overlooking Biscayne Bay, with fairy lights twinkling against the purple dusk and the distant hum of traffic blending with laughter and clinking glasses. James had dreaded it for weeks, practicing small talk in front of his bathroom mirror, but he showed up anyway, compelled by the unspoken rule that skipping meant being labeled. Not a team player. He nursed a watered-down beer at the edge of the crowd, watching his co-workers mingle effortlessly. Mark from sales was the center of attention, regaling a group with stories of his recent fishing trip. But James edged closer, hoping to contribute something innocuous. When Mark paused for breath, James jumped in. "I once caught a snapper off Key Largo. It was pretty big." The group turned. Mark smirked. "A snapper? Come on, James. That's kid stuff. We're talking marlin here fights, man versus beast." Laughter rippled through the circle. Someone muttered, "James probably fishes with a net," and the chuckles grew louder. James felt his face burn. No, it was a challenge." The line almost snapped, but his voice faltered, the stutter kicking in under the weight of their stares. Mark waved him off. "Lighten up, buddy. We're just joking." The group shifted away, leaving James alone with his half-empty glass. He left early. The argument, though it was more of a humiliation replaying in his mind like a looped video. Why did I say anything? They think I'm a joke. By the time he reached his small apartment in a nondescript building near the office, paranoia had set in. He paced the living room, the air conditioner humming mockingly. They're probably laughing about me right now, telling everyone what a loser I am. His reflection in the window stared back pale, uncertain. Why can't I be like them? Confident, liked. Sleep came late, fragmented by dreams of faceless crowds pointing and whispering. The next morning, Saturday, James dragged himself to the office for overtime, a habit born of having nowhere else to go. The building was mostly empty, the fluorescent lights buzzing overhead like distant insects. He settled at his desk, rubbing his temples, the previous night's embarrassment still gnawing at him. As he logged in, his manager, Ms. Alvarez, poked her head into the cubicle row. "James, good, you're here early. We've got a new hire starting today, orientation stuff. Could you show him around?" "He's in the conference room." James blinked. "New hire? On a Saturday?" She shrugged. "Eager beaver. Name's James Harper. Funny coincidence, right? Tame as you." She chuckled and walked off. James froze. Same name. He shook it off, common enough. But as he approached the conference room, a strange unease settled in his gut. The door was ajar. Inside, a man sat at the table, back turned, reviewing paperwork. James cleared his throat. "Hello. I'm James." The man turned, and the world tilted, teed. It was him. Same mousy brown hair, combed over the same way. Same narrow face, same hazel eyes, same slight hunch in the shoulders. Even the clothes, a plain blue shirt and khakis, mirrored James's outfit exactly. The man stood, smiling warmly, and extended a hand. James Harper. Nice to meet you, James. His voice was identical soft, with that faint Florida drawl James had picked up from childhood summers in the Keys. James stared, hand limp in the shake. This has to be a joke. The other James laughed a light, easy sound James had never managed. I know, right? What are the odds? Twins separated at birth or something. He winked, and James felt a chill. No stutter, no hesitation. This James was confident, his posture straight, eyes meeting without flinching. Ms. Alvarez breezed in. Ah, the two Jameses. James 2. This is James 1 hour, veteran analyst. Teal. Get you set up. She didn't bat an eye at the resemblance. You two look like brothers. Small world. James asterisk. The original James asterisk opened his mouth to protest, but the words stuck. The new James nodded gratefully. Appreciate it. Lead the way. As they toured the office, the break room, the printers, the cubicles, the new James chatted effortlessly. Been in data analysis long. I just moved from Orlando, fresh start after a breakup. He shared details that mirrored James's life. Same alma mater, same hobby of amateur photography, even the same favorite coffee, order black with 2 sugars. By lunchtime, paranoia clawed at James. Asterisk, this can't be real. Is it a prank? Did Mark set this up to mock me? Asterisk. But the new James seemed harmless, friendly, humble. He thanked everyone profusely, asked thoughtful questions, and by the end of the day, colleagues were clapping him on the back. Great to have you aboard, James. The original James slunk home, mind reeling. He searched online for doppelgangers, identity theft, anything. Nothing fit. That night, the argument from the gathering replayed, amplified. They're replacing me already. No one even noticed. Monday arrived, sticky with Florida heat. James arrived early, but the new James was already there, desk set up next to his. Morning, twin, he called cheerfully. No one questioned the identical appearances. You too could be clones. Someone joked, and that was its accepted. At first, the double wasn't harmful. He was everything James wished he could be, sociable without being overbearing, quick with a joke that landed perfectly, humble in praise. When Ms. Alvarez asked for a report, the double volunteered, delivering it flawlessly, no stutter, no fumbling. James, you're a natural, she said, beaming at the wrong one. James watched, seething inwardly. That's my work style. How does he know? It's lunchtime. The double joined the group at the cafeteria, sharing stories that echoed James's own unspoken thoughts. I once had this awkward moment at a party, he began, recounting the rooftop gathering but in his version. He turned the humiliation into a charming anecdote, everyone laughing with him. The original James sat alone at his desk, eating a sandwich, paranoia deepening. He's stealing my life, piece by piece. He confronted the double after hours, cornering him in the empty office. Who are you really? What do you want? The double tilted his head, smile fading slightly. I'm James Harper, just like you. Maybe better. His eyes, identical, held a glint James didn't recognize. Not malice, exactly, but something colder, possessive. James backed away, heart pounding. Stay away from me. But the replacement had begun. Over the next week, it was subtle. Emails meant for James went to the double James. Great job on that analysis. Colleagues mixed them up, but always in the double's favor. James, you're looking sharp today. they'd say to the confident one, while the original shrank further into insecurity. James's stutter worsened under stress. He fumbled presentations, his voice cracking as the double watched from the back, smiling sympathetically. Friends, the few he had, started inviting the double to after-work drinks. "You're so much fun, James." They'd text the wrong number. No one noticed the strangeness except James. "Don't you see?" he pleaded with Ms. Alvarez one afternoon. "He looks exactly like me. It's the same name, same everything." She frowned. "James, are you feeling all right? You two are similar." "Sure, but twins happen. Take the day off if you need." Paranoia spiraled into isolation. James stopped sleeping, convinced the double was watching. One night, he followed the double home to his own apartment building. The double entered the same unit. James pounded on the door. "Get out." The door opened. The double stood there, in James's pajamas. "James, what's wrong, buddy?" "Come in." Inside, the apartment was identical down to the half-eaten pizza on the counter. James fled, hyperventilating. "He's erasing me." The replacement accelerated. James's work suffered. Varus crept in. Deadlines missed. The double covered for him, earning promotions. Whispers. "James is on fire lately," Buck said, slapping the double's back. James confronted him again in the packing garage after dark. "You're not me. Stop this." The double's face shifted, still identical, but the expression was one James had never worn: calm superiority. "But I am you, James. The you that could have been, without the fears, the weaknesses." He leaned closer, voice a perfect mimic. "You invited me, with your doubts, your regrets. Now, step aside." James swung a fist, but the double caught it effortlessly. "See? Even now, you're weak." James pulled away, running to his car. But as he drove home, the rearview mirror showed his face, smiling back at him, unbidden. The loss of self came gradually, then all at once. James woke one morning to find his clothes didn't fit right, too tight, as if his body was changing. Stutter vanished, but so did his thoughts. His memories blurred. Was that fishing story his, or the double's? His colleagues called him James B. now, the B for backup, a joke that stung. One evening, James returned to the office late, desperate to prove something. The double was at his desk, typing away. "What are you doing?" "Working," the double replied smoothly. As James Harper, James lunged, but security summoned by the double escorted him out. "Sir, you're trespassing." James is inside. Outside, in the humid night, James stared at his reflection in a puddle. It wasn't his anymore. The eyes were confident, the smile assured. He wandered the streets, homeless in his own life. No one recognized him. Calls to friends went unanswered. The double had taken his phone, his keys, his identity. Weeks blurred into despair. James slept on benches near the bay, watching yachts glide by, symbols of lives he could never have. Paranoia consumed him. Was the double living his dreams? Okay. Marrying the girl from accounting he'd never had the courage to ask out. One stormy night, lightning cracking over the Atlantic, James returned to the apartment asterisk, his asterisk apartment. The door was unlocked. Inside, the double sat on the couch, watching TV, a beer in hand. "You," James croaked, voice hoarse from disuse. As the double turned, no surprise. Ah, the echo, come to fade away. James charged, but his body betrayed him, weak, starving. Date. My grappled, identical faces inches apart. "Why me?" James gasped. "Because you were empty. the double whispered. A shell waiting to be filled. In the struggle, they tumbled toward the balcony. A rain-slicked railing gave way. James grabbed the edge, dangling over the drop 4 stories to concrete below. The double peered down, expression tragic. Goodbye, James. I'll make us better. James's grip slipped. He fell, the world rushing up tragic end to a life unlived, replaced by the perfect version he could never be. The double watched, then straightened his shirt, closed the door, and continued living as James Harper, forever.